Hi, I just want to talk a little bit today about some experiences with bipolar. I've watched some videos on YouTube and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and they've had great experiences. And I've had similar experiences with mania of bipolar. Every once in a while, it just comes up and bites me, and medication. Tried different medications. I've just tried different things. Different therapies and different things. And it's some of it's worked for a bit. But for the most part, I just kind of day by day, you take your energy waves when they come. Hypomania, whatever you want to call it. You could call it hypomania, but I've never heard a doctor use that before with me. He's never said, "Oh, well, that's hypomania." So I can't speak about hypomania, but I can speak about full blown mania. About 6 years ago, 7 years ago now, about 6 years ago, actually, New Year's Christmas of '06. I was hospitalized, and it was just delusional. You looked at things differently, and as other people have said, everybody you meet on the street, you have a conversation with, and it's just, you think you're invincible, and when you're manic, it just feels like you're Jesus, like you're the man, and when you're manic, you think that everything's great and everything's just grandiose, and you're invincible, and you can climb the highest buildings and jump far and do whatever the hell you want, and unfortunately you're told that it's wrong, and it's wrong to do it. It's wrong to think it, and get those thoughts out of your head, and all this crazy stuff, and it's like, I just want to talk a little bit about the stuff I do when I'm manic, to try to give some insight into, what's going on at the time, and, I guess just a little bit of knowledge of, here's my world in a nutshell, give you some idea of what's going on in my head. The first thing I notice when mania starts to come in is the lack of sleep. You're up all night. You're smoking cigarettes. You're smoking cigarettes like crazy. You're drinking alcohol like crazy. You're smoking marijuana like there's nobody's business. And I mean, I'll leave that for another video, because just alcohol and substance abuse and drugs, that's a whole different ball game. But I mean, as far as what I do and what I think that the world is connected. I think that it's connected, and everything in the world has a meaning and a purpose. And when you talk to somebody when you're manic, you're looking for a sign, or you're looking for what words he's saying, or what he's talking about. Could it be a deeper meaning? You're always looking for that deeper meaning. And even when I'm not manic, I still look for that deeper meaning, because the main thing it does is it changes the way you think. It changes your perception of life. It gives you some form of a deeper purpose. You think it's unbelievable that you're on this planet, and you know something that nobody else knows. And you try your best to understand everything. Take it into account on everything. And I mean, it's hard to not notice something, like you look at the time, it's 8:37. That's meaningful to me. 8:37. August 37. That's an important date. And I mean, you sit there and you say, well, what the hell? You just sit there and you say, it's got to mean something. What happens when you die? All those kind of deep questions that you think, oh, I got to really figure that out. Maybe I'll die and I'll come back because I'm Jesus and all this stuff. And so the first thing that happens is the lack of sleep, and that just gets your brain into a stew of craziness, and your mind just, the more you let it think, the more it just it's unbelievable. You can think yourself into a storm of ideas. And then the first idea you come up with is you're Jesus. And I've watched some videos about why we think this, and this deeper connection to a spiritual power, and why Jesus is a central figure. And for women, they're the mother of Jesus, Mother Mary. And I understand that. You think you're important. And it's a real shattering thing when you get out of that manic episode and you're fucked. Because nothing means anything, Nothing means anything at all. It could be, it could be, you think you're supposed to meet an old ex-girlfriend at 12:30 at night on the main street of the town you live in. So you walk all the way down there and you wait for 2 hours on a park bench waiting for the girl of your dreams to show up. Would you do that normally? No. Would you do it when you're manic? Yes. So it's hard when people look at you like you're crazy when you're just trying to do something. You're just trying to follow what's in your head, and the first thing they do is they fill you full of drugs, and then it just mangles you, and your brain's just screwed. So the lack of sleep, the Jesus thoughts, the grandiose ideas, the thing that, thinking that, the world is on your side and you know something that nobody else does. Or you're in on a secret that the whole world knows about, and you're just, you're going to tell the whole world about it. It don't work that way. Nothing works that way. If it worked that way, bipolar wouldn't be looked at as such a weird disease. Someone starts acting weird, Charlie Sheen starts talking about winning and all this crazy stuff, and so he's got bipolar. And then it just makes me look like an idiot. And when I am manic, I do look like an idiot. But I don't feel like an idiot. Anyways, there's going to be more videos on this. This was an introductory video. I just kind of wanted to get it out there and see what kind of response I get. And if it's a good response, great. If it's not a good response, I think I'll still go ahead with it. But the more comfortable I get with it, probably the better they'll be. So, if you're bipolar and you're out there and you're suffering through mania, there's hope. It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world. The doctors and your parents and family, friends, they tell you, oh, you're wacky, you really need to get some help. When really you could just be waking up. Anyways, I will see you in later videos. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So, if you're busy making other plans, watch out for life.